Welcome to Midnight Muse. This is my first of the Midnight Muses, done at Hetzi Lila. It's a very special time after one wakes up. It says the midnight tikkun, and then maybe goes back to sleep. This is the exchanging of the soul, of the, if one's lucky, 5 levels of the soul at this time. Remember, it's Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Boka Yom, whatever. The day starts at the night. In other words, when my soul leaves the body, sleep as 1/60th of death. When my soul leaves the body and I soul travel back into the spiritual worlds, and my body is here as if it's 1/60th of death. My body's still functioning on the animal level, but my soul is traveling to get a new reading, actually a new soul. You're new every day. Quite frankly, you're new with each breath, but that's still a little beyond me. You're new every day. It's important to fulfill the soul's destiny during the day. And this is now a new concept of it's a hipuk, it's a reevaluation of what's the important part. The reason I got up and did this first midnight tikkun is because I see the night and the soul travel and to receive the new force for the next day that starts at night is the important part. And then the daytime is just the manifestation of what happened at that night travel, of going up into the different planes of existence, closer to Hashem, to receive the charge of what you're supposed to do the next day. And that's where the real sin lies, the next day. The next day, if you don't fulfill 100% what your charge was that night before. Remember that in the prayers before bedtime, one recites the priestly blessing of the 60 letters and the 15 words. These 15 words are actually represented in the hand as the 14 little pereks, and then the 15th as the centerpiece here, the shalom part, most important part. That shalom part is with the 4 letters, the gematria is 380. 380 happens to be the multiplication of Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, times Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud, each letter multiplied times the appropriate letter in the second name, and that comes out to 380 pipes, sinorot of shalom. Of these two names in the priestly blessing as that. Coming together of the two hands. And also in Shir HaShirim, when we talk about that there are 60 mighty men surrounding Shlomo's bed. This is the same 60 and the bed inside, the Aleph, the one. Man is the animal with hands. Man receives through his hands another dimension beyond that of intellect. And what one does before one goes to sleep is says these prayers about the prayers of the blessing of the priests. And when one wakes up, what does one do? He does Modi Ani, and then separates his two hands, and then he goes out and washes these hands, because man is the animal with hands. And then he washes out the night pollution, the remnants that didn't leave after the soul came back in. And then he does activity. So the blessing is really in the activity that one received the charge for the night, in the night vision, the night dream. Midnight Tikkun, Midnight Muse will be about this night visitation into Hashem, to the presence that basically can only be done without the body. The soul travel and loses the body. When he quiets the body into sleep mode. So I look forward now, after this midnight muse, to return to sleep and receive the charge for the next day, which is the Thanksgiving Day in the normative Christian calendar, which has no relation here to the Jewish calendar, but we'll call this the Thanksgiving Day that everyone knows of, rather than giving the Hebrew day. When one comes down after, it's coming down out of the mountain with the 10 commandments, the 10 fingers on the 2 stones, 2 hands. It's the blessing of the hands. Everything is in the hands. The hands have their own sensation and feel. Coming out of Chokhmah. And remember, there are 3 hands. A Yad Gedola, a Yad Hazacha. And when they come together, a Yad Ramah. A 3rd hand, which is actually the center of the body. This actual sleep is to receive where we are to actualize the next day.